Arccaptain has sent me some products, asked me if I'd like to review them. I said absolutely, so here we go. We got the new Arccaptain MIG145 Pro. This is a 120 volt machine. It's capable of self-shielded flux core, MMA, as well as scratch TIG. It also says on the box synergic, and it also has a Bluetooth. I haven't seen anybody doing anything with the Bluetooth, so I don't know. We'll get into that and find out what the deal is with the Bluetooth. They sent me one of their more affordable welding helmets. We'll have a look at that. A set of leather welding gloves. And they also sent the TIG torch, which is an accessory item for this particular machine. So you can do some TIG welding if you have an Argon bottle. So let's look first and see what it comes packaged with. Got a rod holder, a carrying strap, wire brush, chipping hammer. They're sending a cover with this machine, which is kind of nice. Got a ground clamp or work clamp, an extra nozzle and a couple of extra tips, 2-pound spool of self-shielded flux core wire. This is the MIG torch, and it is removable. So that's one of the features of this particular machine over their previous model. I think it was the MIG130 flux core machine. And then we've got the machine. I think it's just over 9 pounds. It's a couple of pounds lighter than the previous model. Another one of the features is they've got side load. It looks like it can only take 1 or 2 pound spools, the small ones. And then it has your standard 110 or 120 normal standard outlet plug on it. It's got a nice digital screen on it, one knob for adjustments, looks like 3 buttons there, and of course your removable MIG gun and a place to plug in for the trigger on the front. The back we've got a cooling fan and an on-off switch. And it's got the data plate here on the bottom, and it's showing 145 amps max output. And it does have a nice little foldable handle on top. So that's pretty cool. Also has a bag here. I believe this machine has a 2-year warranty. Nice little sticker chart you could put maybe on the inside of the door. It gives you some basic standard settings for whatever process you're trying to do and whatever thickness metal you're trying to weld. Warranty card, usage and guideline video. You can go scan this and get a video how to use it. It has a real nice thick manual. Several different languages here. And you get some stickers if you're a sticker person. Type of gloves you would use for stick welding, or maybe multi-purpose MIG. They're pretty thick, feel pretty durable, and nice leather. So they'll be great for MIG and stick. Those will work. I'm going to use all of this equipment to test out their machine. User manual. Again, the warranty card. 2 extra exterior shields, so sensitivity adjustment, and you have a switch for grind or weld. And then you've got the adjustments here, DIN 9 through 13. 4 sensors and a little solar panel there to help maintain the battery. Fully adjustable harness in here. Yeah, that's pretty good. That's comfortable. Nice clicks there to keep the hood up. And it does have an accessible battery compartment here, so you can change out the battery, which is nice. Looks like it also has the slide area here where you can put a cheater lens in there. Also has an adjustment on the delay on the inside. Has a battery on both sides. So there's 2 batteries in this particular hood you'll have to replace when it comes time. This has the smaller screen on it. So it's not the super big screen on this particular welding hood, but I'm sure it'll work. We'll give that a shot. This is pretty tight in here, so I may have to lay it on its side. Let's see what wheel we have on here. Yep, they have it set up for 035, so this is a 0.9 and a 0.8. You want the side that you want facing you, facing outward. And in this case, it'll be the 0.9. Once you break this loose from the hole that it's in the side of this plastic reel or spool, you don't want to let that uncoil. And then when you set that spool on there, don't let it go. And we'll feed that into the spring. Okay, we're in there. Let's close this down, and then we'll put the plastic washer back on with the spring and the wing nut. We'll give that a little bit of tension. And I feed it through so it comes out, I don't know, maybe an inch or two. And I'm going to back that tension off quite a ways to start with. And it's got a hole in here, so you want to feed the wire into that hole and then connect the DINS connector with about a 1/4 turn or so. Then you have to connect the switch over here to this 2-pin connector, and that secures with a plastic nut. And that should set us up on the front of the machine. Let's take off this protective cover and we'll turn it on. You can hear that fan. It's running. It sounds like it might be just a constant fan. It's not very loud. Oh, it did? Wow, temp controlled fan. Awesome. Let's go to mode here. You got 3 to choose from. You've got MIG, stick, and TIG. So let's go back to MIG. Right here is MIG. 0.035 wire, you've got 3 choices: 0.040, 0.030, and 0.035. So we're using 0.035 that came with the machine. Crank it up to 145 amps, and we'll just hold the trigger and see how quickly it feeds. So it goes into a fast mode after a couple of seconds. Here it comes. There we go. And we'll put our tip in there. This is the 0.035 tip. Give it a little bit of a snug. I like to have it on a real light tension, and then if I can stop it with my fingers, it's about right. And we should be ready to weld. And I also checked through the manual and tried to find out about the Bluetooth, because it is on the box. It shows Bluetooth. Right here in the manual, it shows a little light indicator, number 7, which is over here, and it says wireless. Display wireless signal light. So maybe it's not set up yet. This is 1/8 inch angle iron, but I'm going to run a stringer bead on each one of these, and we'll use the highest setting, or 145 amps, on the Arccaptain MIG145 Pro. I'll get it cleaned up with the wire wheel, and then we'll check it out. And it looks fine to me. All right, so that was set at 145, or 0.21 on inches. Let's bring it down to 135, and you go back to the inches, it's 0.20. And that seemed like it welded just fine as well. Let me clean that one up and we'll check it out. Okay, there's weld number 2. All right, we'll bring it down another 10 amps and do a third one right along here. Okay, we're on 135, so we'll bring it down to 125. Let's go all the way down to 120. And that's showing 0.16. It was kind of stubborn at the beginning, and I had brought my torch down a little closer to the material to shorten that arc length, and it seemed to smooth out pretty nice. That was at 120 amps, 135, and 145. The synergic capabilities of the machine is handling the wire feed for you, so it makes it real easy to set up. All right, fillet weld, or T-joint, at 145 amps, maxed out on the machine. Blew the breaker. Let me get it cleaned up, bring it back and let you have a look. And the machine's back on and the fan's going. So I think I'll let it cool down. We'll set it up. We'll try a little bit of stick welding. Work clamp in the negative. We'll put the stick holder, rod holder in the positive. We want to go to the mode button. Let's bring it over to stick. One click there. So all you've got here is the amperage control. 20 amps to 145. 6013 rods that are 3/32 inch diameter, and they're from 50 to 70. So we'll just set it on 70 and we'll start there and just see how it does. And there you go. That's how all my stick welds look on this bed frame material. I think it might be the steel, or maybe it's the rods I'm using. Let's try one more. We'll just go right next to it. I'll turn it down 10 amps. We'll bring it down to 60 amps. See how that does. Much thinner bead at a cooler temperature. Plenty of heat on the back, I think. Looks pretty decent to me. So you can definitely use the Arccaptain MIG145 Pro for stick welding. Next we'll get it set up and we'll test out the TIG functions with the additional purchase separately TIG torch by Arccaptain. WP17V, so this one has the valve on it. 1025 DINS connector. Got another warranty card. Like 3 cups, a 4, 5, and a 6. Short back cap, regular back cap, and then 3 collets, probably for 1/16, 3/32, and 1/8. Little sheet here of instructions. 150 amps DC, 125 amps AC, duty cycle 35%. So this is not a flex head or anything, just a standard torch with the valve on it. So you turn the gas on and off with the valve. We'll put our TIG torch lead down here in the bottom, which is the negative. And then the ground clamp will go up here onto the positive. And then connect this line to my bottle. We'll go to mode. This icon is for TIG. Then we just set our amperage. So when I turn this valve on, the regulator is set for 15 cubic feet per hour. The arc starts real easy. You have to break the arc and then put the torch back down there to get some post flow. And then turn your valve off. And that was way too hot. So that's where we're at. I mean, it'll definitely weld. The arc was nice and smooth, steady arc, just like you want for TIG. Real easy to start and definitely doable. It's just going to take some practice to get used to the scratch start, but it will certainly work. Nice little fillet weld setup. We'll just run a fillet weld across here. Now for a fillet weld, I think I need a little more amperage. So let's try 90. I'm going to turn it up to 100. So for a guy who doesn't do a lot of scratch start TIG welding, not bad at all. Overall, that's a pretty decent little weld. The machine is definitely capable. And we tested out all the features. I gotta say I was impressed. If you're just looking for a small shop or some temporary welding or even some mobile welding, I think this is probably a pretty nice option. I will link everything I used in this video in the description if you want to go have a look at it or you're looking for more information. If they give me a coupon code, I'll post that down there as well. I did not have the Bluetooth feature. I couldn't figure that out. I did get an email sent off to them and they said that it was not operational at this point. I suppose at some point in the future, maybe it will be. I hope the video helped you out. And if you want to see another one of my welder review videos, click the video on the screen now and we'll see you over there.